Fishing news is brought to you by Navionics, Okuma, Yozuri, Evinrude, Llama Glass, and the Star Island Yacht Club in Montauk, New York.
Hey, Toby Lipinski for the New England edition of the Fisherman magazine with this week's web video fishing forecast for New England. Well, can't believe I'm already down here working on a little bit of rod projects that I've got for this off season. There's still some fishing to be had, but there's never, it's never too late to get started on some of the rod building projects. So I actually got one of the hardest things, or least enjoyable things for me, rod building. I'm stripping an old Llama Glass rod down here, and it's a BT 857S, good trolling blank. So I'm rebuilding this for the coming season rather than just buying a brand new one. I had this blank sitting around, hadn't been using it for a while. I want to modernize some of the components on it, so it'll be a little side project I got going on this winter. But that's not why we're here today. As I said, we've got this week's web video fishing forecast, but before I get into that, I want to direct you to an update of the Northeast Striped Bass Tag Study article. Appears in the December issue of the Fisherman magazine, and it's also available in print, online right now at thefisherman.com. And in this article, we talk about not only the recovery of our second tag. That's right, the second tag has been recovered. We've got some of that information in the article right now. We're still poring over all the data. This tag was out at large for 5 months. There's literally millions of data points every second of this tag's journey as it was attached to striped bass, where it went, what it did, depth, water temperature, light, everything it was tracked and recorded. And since we actually physically got the tag back, the big project now is to take all that data and plot it and turn these data points into something that you and I can understand as non-tag data scientists, or whatever they're called. So some really neat information coming from it, just like the first tag, which that first tag, if you recall, that striped bass swam out into the canyon, something a lot of people have been theorizing has been happening for a long time, but now we've got the proof that, hey, it does happen. Granted, it was just one fish. It's not a blanket statement, but it's still pretty cool nonetheless. And then continuing on that, in this article, back in October, we began the 3 R's of striped bass campaign, which we're defining as release properly, reduce mortality, and rebuild striped bass. It's a concept which all of us, regardless of what our affiliation or what division of the fishing sector we belong to, is something we can all get behind. And based on that, we've got the 3 R's logo, and we initiated a campaign this week where you can purchase a 3R sticker right now at thefisherman.com. And for every $10 that you donate, you get a sticker. And all the money that we're raising from this is going to be going towards purchasing additional satellite tags going forward. We've already got commitments from several big companies to buy more tags to deploy this spring. Well, here is your chance to help. A lot of people, when we announced this program, said, how can I help? How can I get involved? Well, the problem is these tags cost about $5,000 a piece. Now, I'd love to be able to go and buy a whole bunch of them. Unfortunately, I can't, and a lot of you can't either. However, all of us can throw $10 down, and it's not going to take long. We're going to have funds generated to purchase more tags, and the more tags we get, the more fish they're deployed in, and the better data, we're going to be able to get from this study. So regardless if you're commercial, you're recreational, you're for hire, you're private, you're all catch and release, you're meat fishermen, whatever it may be, we all want to know what these striped bass are doing. We want better data, and the more tags we get out there, the better the data is going to come in. So head on over to fisherman.com right now. Check out the story. Grab a couple of the stickers. Show your support not only for the concept of the 3 R's, but also to show yourself as a supporter of the tagging study by helping us fund additional tags. All right, speaking of striped bass, we got a few good reports this week as well. I know it's been primarily Blackfish the last couple of weeks, but for whatever reason, we got a little spike in striper action this week. First up, Todd I sent me an email. A friend of mine from Rhode Island does a lot of kayak fishing. He sent a picture of a 35-inch striper that he got over the weekend on a DOA plastic. Now, he said it's been tough to find a real consistent time to get out there on the water because you've been dealing with, as we all have, tough weather conditions. But when the weather allows him to get out on the yak, he's been finding lots of striped bass feeding on schools of peanut bunker. Nice 35-inch bass from one of the salt ponds on a kayak in November. You cannot complain about that. So as Todd and I were talking, we were bouncing some emails back and forth. It got me charged up this week, and I figured, what the heck, I'm going to get out. We had a good night weather-wise, finally positive good tides, productive tides, matched up with good weather. I had no more excuses, so I gave my buddy Pete a call. We ended up heading out that evening. We started off the bottom of the outgoing. It was rather slow. I had one small fish, couple of hits. Pete had a couple of hits, and the tide changed, started coming in, and with it came the fish, and we got into some real steady action. I think we both we hooked a bunch of fish, dropped a bunch. I think we probably 10, 12 fish a piece by the end of the night. All small fish, though, 16 to, I think we had some that might have pushed that 24-inch range. What we were throwing, those single hook offerings, jigs, bucktails. The best lure for us, however, for both of us, was a 5-inch redfin. What we did is we outfitted them with single inline hooks. At least that's how I hooked mine up. I know Pete just simply cut the tail hook off his, so he only had the belly treble. So we weren't doing any unnecessary damage to the fish. We weren't taking them out of the water. Aside from a quick photo here, we each got one photo just to commemorate one of, maybe it's the last night either of us get out. Who knows what the weather is going to be. But nonetheless, we both had a really good evening. And I've also heard some pretty good catches being made right now along the beaches of South County by day. It's like clockwork, Third week of November, there's almost always some pretty good shots of fish running the beaches down there. Nothing gigantic, but fish to that mid-30-inch class. So again, small single hook offerings are the way to go for these, because there's a lot of small fish. We don't want to be damaging the future. There's no need to run up 50, 60, 100 fish days. But hey, you want to go down, get a half dozen, 10 fish, nothing wrong with that, as long as you're having fun. It's a great opportunity as well to bring your kids out, to get someone who's not really into fishing yet, to turn them on to it. A great opportunity for that, as well as by using some of those proper offerings, instilling the right ethics, the catch and release ethics, harming the fish as little as possible going forward. So it's a good opportunity for both of those. So again, if you're looking to get out and fish this week, we got really good opportunities to get some striped bass. Continuing along, Blackfish reports. I'm going to start off. Captain Tony booked off charters over in Rhode Island. He said it's been tough to get out. As we've all been seeing, the weather has not been great, but when he's been able to fish, he's been doing pretty well on a mix of blackfish, which has been the primary target, as well as black sea bass, and plenty of cod mixed in as well. Best trip recently was on Tuesday. He had the guys from Dojo Fishing on board, and Kevin had the high hook for the day, landing both a 13.4-pound blackfish as well as an 11.2-pounder. A lot of guys don't do that in a season, let alone in one outing. So congrats to the angler as well as the captain, obviously putting them on those fish. And Captain Tony said he's going to keep fishing into December and further, as long as the bite and the weather conditions allow. So give him a buzz today, 401-741-2580. Great captain, does really well on a variety of species, so give him a call. Get out on him before the season ends. And then moving along, regular report contributor, Fisherman magazine subscriber, Tony Renato checked in this week. Said he got out a couple of times going into last weekend for blackfish, fishing around the Watch Hill, the rock piles out there. And while the colder days, as it got colder, it got a little bit tougher. Had to deal with some skim ice on the deck of the boat. The warmer days, he did well. He said he had fish to 9 pounds out around Watch Hill, so some nice fish there. And he said with that increasing, the decreasing temperatures, getting colder, finding the ice on the boat, a little tougher for him to get out, but he's got a buddy of his who still has the boat in the water, so he plans to be able to fish as long, kind of like Tony was saying, as long as the bite and the weather allows, he's going to get out. So good luck on that, Tony. And last up, we got, continuing with blackfish, we got just 1 week left in the season here in Connecticut, where I live. It closes up on November 28th, so this provides a good opportunity. You can start off your day with some tog and end it with turkey for Thanksgiving. That is a great option right there. I'll be home cooking all day. I enjoy doing the big cooking, but which you'll see in next week's video. But nonetheless, it provides an opportunity for the rest of you to do a turkey tog double combo for the last day of blackfish season here in Connecticut. The bite's still going strong. Everybody I'm talking to that's been getting out when the weather's been allowing has been doing really well on the blackfish. No giant fish still here in Connecticut, aside from we have a 14 plus a couple weeks ago. But for the most part, it's those like 4 to maybe 6 pound fish. Lots of those around, which are great. That's a good eating size, great action, and there's still always that chance at that mega double digit to pop up. Buddy Jeffrey Downs sent me an email. He was with the Sunbeam fleet fishing out of the Niantic River this week. Got a really nice sized fish for the table, as well as a lot of other bigger and smaller fish, but he kept the one for the table. So there's a lot of boats still sailing. Again, here in Connecticut, you've only got until Thanksgiving. Massachusetts and Rhode Island, you've got to the end of the calendar year, but Connecticut, you just got about 1 more week, so you got a lot of options. And those boats in Connecticut, they're getting the mix just like they are in Rhode Island. They're picking up some black sea bass and even the occasional keeper cod inside the sound. So you never know what that next drop is going to produce for you. All right, well, there you have it. I'm Toby Lipinski for the New England edition of Fisherman magazine, wishing you tight lines if you head out onto the water this weekend.
Win the incredible Steigercraft Evinrude Lowrance Grand Prize Boat Package and more in the Fisherman's 2019 Dream Boat Fishing Challenge. Get the details now at thefisherman.com.